On May 31st, 1989, in Cloucherville, Louisiana, a witness claims that when he was a young boy, he encountered strange beings while staying at his grandparents' farm. I was sleeping, and I'm not aware of how long I was awake, but my sister, who is a year younger than me, was also awake. The first thing I remember was being in the window talking to a cat-like object that was gray with a roundish, dull, purple-looking nose. The window was about 5 feet off the ground. There was a big bright light hovering in the sky about a half a mile up, illuminating the object that was talking to my sister and I. I cannot recall what was said, but I know we communicated. I do not remember the alien leaving, and I don't remember being scared, but I remember my mother waking up and making us lay back down. She said we were both staring out of the window crying. We both remember this incident to this day, and my mother remembers this night. The witness claims that he encountered a grayish, cat-like being. Cat or feline-like beings have been reported by other alien abductees. Granted, it could just be a screen memory. Curiously, the witness indicates that he experienced a weird phenomena afterwards. Until he reached the age of 14, he began to dream of things before they happened, or would know who was on the other end of the phone before it even rang. In 2001, a 23-year-old woman camping in a wooded area in Wielkopolska province in Poland had her own strange encounter. One evening she was walking in the woods, trudging down a long meadow on her way to her tent, when she noticed a bizarre creature standing on the edge of a nearby lake. She estimated that the creature was only about 8 meters from her, and she was utterly petrified. She got the sense that the creature was just as surprised as she was, and it dematerialized into nothing right in front of her stunned eyes. To her, the creature resembled a large insect, like a giant praying mantis. Its face was long and thin. Its body was also very thin, and it stood about 5 feet tall. Its skin was gray or beige in color. She also noticed that it had something resembling long and narrow insect-like wings. Its eyes were large and dark and insect-like. The eyes is what terrified her the most. It gazed at me, and I knew that it did not know what it would do. Our encounter had no meaning or aim. It appears to have been a total surprise for both of us. Since the encounter, she claims to have experienced other strange phenomena and wonders if it is somehow linked to her encounter in the woods. Summer 1999. 32-year-old Mariah was found barely alive, naked and injured on a highway outside of St. Petersburg in Russia. She was taken to a hospital where it was found that she had numerous cuts, bruises, and other injuries. After an initial investigation, local militia came to the conclusion that she had been raped. There was also a strange detail present. The lower part of her body was covered in an unknown substance, resembling mucus or frog spawn. When Mariah regained consciousness, she reported to authorities that she had been staying with friends at a country cottage when one day she decided to take a motorboat into the Bay of Finland. She wanted to look at an island which had the ruins of a former Finnish glass plant abandoned in 1939. Suddenly, a dense cloud covered the sky. She looked up and saw a huge, disc-shaped craft, and she felt paralyzed with fear and was unable to move. As the huge flying saucer hovered over her, she lost consciousness. She does not recall how long she had been unconscious, but she woke up feeling a terrible cold and fear. She opened her eyes and found herself lying on a metallic table, completely naked. She was not tied and was able to move, but soon noticed a bizarre creature leaning over her. The creature was lizard-like, with huge eyes. She saw many shiny instruments around her, and 3 or 4 lights shone over her. Suddenly she felt the creature climb over her, touching her. She felt like screaming, but her throat did not obey her. She felt everything, but soon lost consciousness again. She regained consciousness in a hospital 200 kilometers away. from where she had originally been. Her boat was found on an island. The mucus or mucilage-like substance proved difficult to wash away from her body. This case was featured in Maxim Dronov's book, Undeclared Visit. It is unclear if the substance was ever tested or what became of it. In Canada, a man named Alex saw something he could not explain while staying at a cottage in Truro, Nova Scotia. It was the summer of 2008. His family had rented a small cottage for the week, and Alec recalled that, due to the lack of space, he ended up in the sunroom in the front part of the house. He didn't mind it as he had a panoramic view of the ocean and the nearby road. That is until he caught sight of something strange, an orange-colored creature. One evening, when it was dark out and all that was on was my reading lamp, to my right, a fair distance away, I saw a large orange shape making its way down the road. As I watched, this orange figure not only stopped heading down the road, but appeared to be approaching me. As it got closer, it appeared to be human-shaped. Getting a bit scared, I turned away and shut my eyes, only to hear a voice whisper in my left ear, as though someone were standing over my bed. "How are you?" it said. Alec tucked himself under his covers and did not open his eyes for the rest of the night. When he came to in the morning, the thing, whatever it was gone. 1988 afternoon. Professional scuba diver Robert Foster was diving alone in an area several miles off the coast of Florida when he noticed a disturbance in the water. When he turned to look, he saw a vague, shadowy figure slashing toward him. All around him the water had begun to churn wildly, and clouds of sediment were swirling. As the creature rushed towards him, it appeared to undulate rather than glide. When the fast-moving form got to within 20 yards of him, he noticed something odd about it. Appendages like arms seemed to be reaching out toward him. At the end of each arm appeared to be sharply taloned hands. He then saw the creature in full view. He saw an unmistakable pair of breasts, long flowing hair, smooth skin, and a scaled tail from the waist down. It appeared to be half woman, half fish. Foster said, "I've never seen such evil hate in the eyes of any human or animal before." Before the creature could reach him, Foster shot up towards the surface and was able to scamper over the side of his craft to safety. He never saw the creature again. This case was referenced in E. Randall Lloyd's book, Great Southern Mysteries, and, once again, suggests that more than just fish are lurking in our world's oceans.